Hello there, Leo. Thank you so much for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast. This forecast is for the week of February the 7th through the 13th. You would think I would have that memorized by now. We are starting with Saturday, so we're doing Saturday and Sunday together, and then we're moving on into the weekdays. I like to keep the 2 days on the weekend kind of together. No reason to split them up. Let's see here. What do you guys have for my Leos, Leos, Leos? My dad's middle name is Leo, although he is not a Leo. He's a Sagittarius. Okay, so let's see what we have here for Saturday. You have the Page of Clubs showing up in reverse. This is telling me that you have some kind of idea either about travel or something that makes you feel passionate and enthusiastic. And somebody here is saying, I can't go with you, or I'm not on board with this. So you may have asked for a loan, and somebody would be saying, oh, I can't do that. Or you may have asked a friend to go on a trip with you. Oh, I can't do that. Or I have to do other things, whatever they're saying. We've got somebody here on Saturday that you're finding out they can't get on board with you on whatever this is, this idea that makes you feel passionate and excited. Now we're looking next at Sunday. So Sunday you have the Seven of Swords showing up in reverse. To me, this talks about picking up the pieces. In fact, that's what I'm hearing as I look at this card, that you're picking up the pieces. This can be as simple as, man, we had a dinner party at the house last night and it was a mess. I didn't clean it up last night before I went to bed. It can be that. There can be, maybe you're doing some yard work. This can also come up as like a relationship too. Like if somebody had a big argument, this can be picking up the pieces afterwards and putting everything back together again and getting back on track. But there's something going on here where you're picking up the pieces one way or the other, okay? If with more cards, I could tell you exactly where that's playing out in your life, but just for right now, for one card, that's what it is. If you guys want more specifics, obviously a personal reading is the way to go anyway. So let's see here. And by the way, I will knock your socks off in a personal reading. People say I'm spooky accurate. I don't know why that has to be, accuracy has to be connected with spooky, but apparently it is. Anyway, so Monday, we have the Three of Swords coming up. This is probably not my favorite card to try to tell people about, just because it does talk about some kind of heartache, heartbreak, or great sadness. I've had this card come up for, each of these cards has a huge range of where it can fall. So I've had the Three of Swords come up for, somebody stabbing somebody in the back, figuratively speaking, of course. Um, for somebody cheating, like in a romantic relationship, then the Three of Swords sometimes comes out. But I've also had it come up for much smaller things. I had it come up, it came up for me one day, and I was like, oh man. And then at the end of the day, what happened was I was watching a news story and it was about these neglected dogs, and it made me cry. I didn't know the dogs. I didn't know the people who were neglecting the dogs. I was not connected with it at all. But it's still, that was how that Three of Swords showed up for me. So we can't assume that this is a huge big deal just because it shows up. Does not have to be, okay? There is some kind of sadness there. That's what we can say for sure. Now, looking at Tuesday, we have our Fool showing up in reverse. This just means that there's something, Leos, that you started as a leap of faith in the past, not knowing where it was going to take you. And now you're kind of reevaluating that on Tuesday. You're kind of asking yourself, has this leap of faith done everything that I expected it to? Has it run its course? Or is there still some more good juice that comes out of continuing on with this leap of faith? And so, after really evaluating it and really seriously thinking about it, when the Fool card comes up, I know you're going to go ahead and move forward with this leap of faith. And some of you may make some adjustments to it, but you're still going to move forward with this leap of faith. But you may not know that right at first, because you will be debating for sure. Looking at Wednesday. Here we have the Queen of Clubs coming up in reverse. Queen of Clubs coming up in reverse. What I'm hearing, Leo, I mean, this could be your card, technically, but that's not what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is this is about somebody that you're interacting with. And for me, when the Queen of Clubs comes up in reverse, this is somebody who is being very bossy, very pushy. You know, they're trying to make things happen. And maybe you may not want those things to happen. Or maybe you're okay with it. But either way, this person is coming off very pushy. So I'm guessing you're not that okay with it. Otherwise, they could be all sweet about it, right? So that's going to be an interaction that you have. And so you kind of have to figure out what are your boundaries there and how can you assert them in a way that is calm and collected. And remember, we have Mars, like conjuncting all kinds of stuff in the next few days. So, um, in Aquarius near Pluto. So beware of people who may be a little bit more amped up than usual. So as you're having this interaction with this person, make sure that you're keeping yourself safe. I don't know if they'll be how aggressive they'll be, but you want to make sure that you're not crossing any line that's going to send them over the edge and have them doing things that are really ridiculous or scary or unsafe. Okay. Next, we're looking at Thursday. Interesting card, actually. Hermit card in reverse. It's sort of like this is kind of a brother to that Fool card in reverse. The Fool card is talking about you thinking about something very specific. I just need to stay in the camera. Talking about you thinking about a leap of faith that you took. With the Hermit card in reverse, this says that by the time Thursday ends, you will have spent some time alone, maybe even before Thursday, but you will have spent some time alone thinking some things through, trying to understand more about where you are, where you want to be, how you get there, what are you willing to do to get to where you want to be. And then when the card comes up in reverse, what we see is now you're done with that alone time and you're ready to come out to the world with this new set of priorities and this adjusted direction that you have. And so that's Thursday, kind of reevaluating and coming back out into the world with the new boundaries, new goals, new purpose, whatever it is that you have reprioritized there. Next, we are looking at Friday, Leo. Friday looks pretty good, actually. Seven of Cups here. Seven of Cups, a lot of people call it a daydreamer card. Sometimes it comes across to me like this. But I just feel like you have a lot of options with things that you can do with yourself during this day. This comes across to me as well. I could go golfing, or I could uh, go skiing. I guess it depends where you are in the world, right? If you live in Hawaii, you could go golfing. In Colorado, I don't think you can ski very much right now. It's been warm. I could be wrong. They could have snow up on the mountains. I'm not really at a big elevation right now. But anyway, I just feel like you've got options of things that you could do with your day. And so I think the challenge here really will be to get off the couch and go do something because there's a lot here that you could choose from, all of it exciting. And so I think that, you should move forward with some of these options. But the temptation will be because there's so many good options to have a hard time making up your mind and getting in motion and actually following through on any of them. So best advice there is just pick something. Just pick something and go do that, something that you'll enjoy. All right, so that's what we've got for you for this week, Leos. Thank you very much for stopping by and hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. Of course, if you want to book a private reading with me, I do a lot of readings online. You can check out my website right there. That'll give you all the information about how to do that. It also has my contact information in case you have any questions about how that would work. Feel free to reach out to me. Always happy to answer those. And check out my other services and all my good stuff. Everybody have a great week. Peace. Where'd my mouse go? Here we go.